Yeah, we did it. Man, that was awesome. All that work to get here. Finally. I see the player you mean. Volume down 97. Yes, take care. It has reached a higher level now. It can read our thoughts. That doesn't matter. It thinks we're part of the game. I like this player. It played well. It did not give up. It is reading our thoughts as though they were words on a screen. That is how it chooses to imagine many things, when it is deep in the dream of a game. Words make a wonderful interface, very flexible, and less terrifying than staring at the reality behind the screen. They used to hear voices, before players could read, back in the days when those who did not play called the players witches and warlocks, and players dreamed that they flew through the air on sticks powered by demons. What did this player dream? This player dreamed of sunlight and trees, of fire and water. It dreamed it created, and it dreamed it destroyed. It dreamed it hunted and was hunted. It dreamed of shelter. Ha, the original interface, a million years old, and it still works. But what true structure did this player create in the reality behind the screen? It worked with a million others to sculpt a true world in the fold of the and created were in the it cannot read that thought. No, it has not yet achieved the highest level. That it must achieve in the long dream of life, not in the short dream of a game. Does it know that we love it? That the universe is kind? Sometimes, through the noise of its thoughts, it hears the universe, yes. But there are times it is sad in the long dream. It creates worlds that have no summer, and it shivers under a black sun, and it takes its sad creation for reality. To cure it of sorrow would destroy it. The sorrow is part of its own private task. We cannot interfere. Sometimes when they are deep in dreams, I want to tell them they are building true words in reality. Sometimes I want to tell them their importance to the universe. Sometimes they have not made a true connection in a while. I want to keep them where they fear. It reads our thoughts. Sometimes I do not care. Sometimes I wish to tell them, this world you take for truth is merely, and I wish to tell them they are, in the reality, they do long dream. And yet they play the game, but it would be so easy to tell them. Too strong for this dream. To tell them how to live is to prevent them from living. I will not tell the player how to live. The player is growing restless. I will tell the player a story, but not the truth. No, a story that contains the truth safely in a cage of words, not the naked truth that can burn over for any distance. Give it a body again. Yes, player. Use its name. Volume down. Player of games. Good. Now take a breath now. Take another. Feel the air in your lungs. Let your limbs return. Yes, move your fingers. Have a body again. Under gravity and air, respawn in the long dream. There you are, your body touching the universe again at every point, as though you were separate things, as though we were separate things. Who are we? We were once called the spirit of the mountain. Father, Sun, Mother Moon, astral spirits, and animal spirits. Jinn, ghosts, the green man, the gods, demons, angels, poltergeists, aliens, extraterrestrials, leptons, quarks. In the words change, we do not change. We are the universe. We are everything you think isn't you. You are looking at us now through your skin and your eyes. Why does the universe touch your skin and throw light on you? To see you, player, to know you, and to be known. I shall tell you a story. Once upon a time there was a player. That player was you, volume down. Sometimes, though it's self-human, sometimes it thought itself human on the thin crust of the spinning globe of molten rock. The ball of molten rock circled burning blazing gas. It took 8 minutes to cross the gap. The light with information of the star would burn your skin from 150 kilometers away. Sometimes the player dreamed it was a miner on the surface of the world that was flat and infinite. The sun was a square of white. Days were short. There was much to do. Death was temporary inconvenience. Sometimes the player dreamed it was lost in the story. Sometimes the player dreamed it was other things in other places. Sometimes these dreams were disturbing. Sometimes very beautiful indeed. Sometimes the player woke from one dream into another, then woke from that into a third. Sometimes the player dreamed it watched words on a screen. Let's go back. The atoms of the player were scattered in the grass, in the rivers, in the air, on the ground. A woman gathered the atoms. She drank it and ate and inhaled, and the woman assembled the player in her body. And the player woke from the warm, dark world of the mother's body into the long dream. and the player was a new story, never told before, written in letters of DNA, and the player was a new program, never run before, generated by source code a billion years old, and the player is human, never revived in milk and love. You are the player, the story, the program, the human, made from nothing but milk and love. Let's go further back. 7 billion atoms of the player's body were created long before this game, in the heart of a star. So the player 2, this information is a star. And this player moves to the story, which is forced influenced by a man called Julian Flint. He seems scared by it. Hush. Sometimes the player created a small, private world, a little soft and warm and simple, sometimes hard and cold and complicated. Sometimes it built a model of the universe in its head, flecks of energy moving through vast energies. Sometimes it called it electrons and protons. Some called it planets and stars. Sometimes it believed it was in a universe that was made of energy, that was made of offs and ons, zeros and ones, lines of code. Sometimes it believed it was playing games. Sometimes it believed it was reading words on screen. You are the player reading words. Shush. Sometimes the player reads lines of code on a screen, decoded them into words, coded into words into meaning, decoded meaning into feelings, emotions, theories, ideas. The player started to breathe faster, deeper. It was alive. It was alive in those cells and tests. The player was alive. You are alive. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through sunlight that came through the shuffling leaves of the summer trees. And sometimes the player believed in the universe that had spoken to it in the light that fell from the crisp night sky in the summer or winter, where the fleck of light in the corner of the player's eye might be a star, and a million times the mass of the sun, boiling planets plasma were to be visible for a moment to the player. And sometimes the player believed it was the universe had spoken through to zeros and ones, through the electricity of the world, through the scrawling of words on a screen at the end of the dream. And the universe said, I love you. And the universe said, you have played the game well. And the universe said, everything you need is within you. And the universe said, you are stronger than you know. And the universe said, you are the daylight. And the universe said, you are the night. And the universe said, the darkness you fight is within you. And the universe said, the light you seek is within you. And the universe said, you are not alone. And the universe said, you are not separate from every other thing. And the universe said, you are the universe, tasting itself, talking to itself, reading its own code. And the universe said, I love you because you are love. And the game was over, and the player woke from the dream, and the player began a new dream. And the player dreamed again, dreamed better. And the player was the universe, and the player was love. You are the player. Wake up.